Hi everyone, it's Miss Billion again, and today I'm going to show you how to embed a Google Doc into one of the pages of your Mahara portfolio. So a lot of the work you're doing for me is in Google Docs, of course. We've been doing that for many weeks now. And some of that work we want to share in our portfolio. So instead of copying and pasting it or rewriting it into our portfolio, we can actually embed that Google Doc right into our portfolio. So when Ms. Billion or anybody else is looking at your portfolio, we can flip through the pages of your portfolio and your Google Docs will show up right there in your portfolio, instead of maybe including a link and having to go over to Google Drive and look at your Google Doc. Now it's showing up right there, just like we did with when we embedded Google Slideshow. So I'm already signed into my Moodle, and I'm already signed into, I clicked on my link to my Mahara portfolio. I'm on my dashboard page, which is where I usually start. And in this case, I want to add a Google Doc to a page that I previously made. So we previously added a Google Slideshow to a sentence writing review page. So I'm going to go find that page. Whether I want to create a new page or find an old page, I go to Portfolio Pages. And so I have the option to create a new page or look for one of my old pages. They're in alphabetical order. If I have lots and lots of pages, I can type in the title and find it. So here's my sentence writing review page, and from here I can make decisions of whether I want to delete this page entirely because I no longer need it. Maybe I made a better page, a different page, I reorganized my portfolio in some way, or I can click on the pencil, which is pretty standard icon for editing. So I really just want to edit this page. And this is the page we worked on before. It already has a title. I already included a slideshow, except for now I want to include a Google Doc. So the Google Doc I want to include is actually, in this case, the corrections that I did for my parts of speech exam. So we did a parts of speech exam. There were areas of improvement that many of us had. You had the opportunity to reflect on how your exam went and improve any of the items that perhaps didn't go as well as you had hoped on the test. So we want to include that as part of our learning portfolio because it's showing that you're a good learner by being able to reflect on what you've done, whether maybe you did really well and you were able to talk about why it is that you thought you did really well, or maybe and like I said, maybe you had some improvements. So that's being a good learner. We want to include that here to show that we are open to learning and to improving. So we're just going to do what we've done before, is go to our items list. And again, a Google Doc will be an external item because it's coming from a different program. And we know that we have a Google Apps item that we can choose, which is the same thing that we did when we were doing the parts of speech, a slideshow. And this time I'm going to have a choice. I'm just putting it in the same block as my slideshow. You can make a decision to change your layout and put it in a separate block if you'd like. What is the only difference now than before is that now, because you already have something in this block, it's going to ask you where you want it. Do you want this to go at the top of the cell, which means it would go before your slideshow, or do you want it to go after your slideshow? And of course we want it to go after the slideshow. So we're just going to click that, and we're going to click Add, and that same pop-up that we've seen before will come up. Again, we're going to make decisions on whether we need this title or not. Considering the fact that our Google Docs already have really clear titles on them, we're not going to need a title for this, right? And so now we're back to needing some embed code or a URL. We prefer to embed it because we want everything to be viewable right in our portfolio. We don't want our viewers to have to click on links and go elsewhere, etc. Of course, there's all sorts of help down here if you want. So we need to go to our Google Drive. The next thing we need to do is go to our Google Drive and find our document that we want to include and get this embed code. So I already have my Google Drive open, I have my slideshows open, and I have my document open and ready to go. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with my slideshow. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go down to Publish to the Web. And I don't want the link, I want to embed this document. And before I can actually get the embed code, so the code that makes that nice little frame and shows your document directly in the portfolio, before I can get that code, I have to publish. It's going to ask me if I'm sure I want to publish again. You know, it's important to know that technically it's out there on the web, otherwise the Mahara and Google can't talk to each other, but so to speak. But the you know, the likelihood of somebody looking at this document or finding this document is very low. But something to keep in mind. Oops, okay. And then it gave me my code just like it did before when I was doing my slideshow. So this code, I'm just going to use my keyboard, just like it says. If I put my cursor over here, it shows me what my keyboard keys. So I'm just going to go Control-C to copy the code, which is already highlighted. If you click off it by accident, just highlight it again, but make sure you get every last symbol, because if you miss either of these little symbols, the code's not going to work. So then I'm going to go back to my sentence writing review page in my Mahara portfolio, and I'm just going to use my keyboard keys again and go Control-V as in Victor for pasting. I'm not going to mess with the defaults, I'm just going to leave that as it is, and then I'm going to hit Save. And so now if I look at my page, so I'm back, it takes me back to my main page, you can see that my Google Doc is right here in the page, and it has a nice frame around it that includes a scroll bar, because obviously they're not going to, it's not going to just put the entire document, which could be many, many pages long, into your portfolio page, because that could, you know, be cumbersome within the page. It makes the page a little bit unruly. So instead, it defaulted to a certain size, and it automatically includes a nice little scroll, so whoever is viewing your portfolio can just click on this, can just use the scroll to scroll down in this particular document. That keeps the page a little bit neater, shorter. If we want to see what it looks like to Ms. Fillion when she's looking at it, or any of our other viewers, we have our title of our page, we know who it's by. Of course, this disappears when it's just the viewer. Here's the slideshow that your viewer can flip through if they want, and then here's your Google Doc right underneath. And then as you scroll down, you can use your scrolls. Obviously your whole page scroll, and then you can use your document scroll to scroll through the document. As usual, your viewer can leave you comments on your page. And that's what that ends up looking like. Just like that. Alright, so in some future videos, I'm going to show you how to embed a YouTube video and a Google Drive video, because that might be necessary later in our portfolio. Until then, good luck, take care, and bye for now.